Hello, or is it good afternoon? Not really sure. I wanted to pop on here and very quickly explain what happened yesterday after my DXA scan results. So for people who don't know what a DXA scan is, it's for bone density, and I've been really overwhelmed. I put out a post yesterday to say that I was going to go for my scan after, well, it's a little bit more than a year since my first scan, where I was diagnosed with osteoporosis, but I should have gone in January. I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, but I have been really positive about what I've been doing about the state of my bones, and I've changed everything. But I did shun the conventional drugs that were offered to me, which were bisphosphonate drugs, and hi everyone who's popping on. And they carry a lot of side effects, and I just didn't want to take them. My rheumatologist gave them to me, this big pile of drugs, and he said to me, how's your stomach? And I said, it's kind of okay. And he said, you're really going to need a very strong stomach to take this. So thank you for all the hearts. So I went away and I was really upset because my osteoporosis was really quite severe for a person in my age. There's lots of different factors that can make a person's bone density worse than someone else's. They vary from whether you've haven't had an early menopause in a woman, or if you've taken corticosteroids for a long time, which was something I had done because I had a decade almost of fertility treatment, so I was on prednisolone for an extended amount of time. You know, there are many factors, poor calcium, poor vitamin D, but anyway, it's a silent thing, and you just don't know what's happening to the state of your bones until you have a scan, and they put light through your bones, and however much light gets through is basically how the scan works, gives you a score, and it's called a T-score. So I was diagnosed with osteoporosis last year, took the drugs for 1 month, absolutely hated them, then found out that it would do this. It would burn your stomach lining, it would burn your esophagus, and after a couple of years, your teeth might fall out. Don't quote me on any of this. Basically, I just didn't want to take them at all. And so I worried about it. So what I did was I did Pilates, I did walking, I did things like that. But I was very aware of my back and that I could fracture it very easily. And I'm a really active person. I used to be a dancer and I used to love CrossFit and everything, but I was very nervous about the state of my bones. So I just did Pilates and things, and didn't do as much as I was doing before. And then I heard about a new thing called OSTEOGENIC Loading. So this is a non-pharmaceutical way to build bone density, and you go once a week and you load your bones with a minimum of 4.2 times your body weight. And this creates an adaptive response within your bones to stimulate the cells within your bones to grow. So I thought, wow, this is my answer. I'm going to try this. And that's what I've been doing. So I've done 42 sessions of this now. You go once a week. It takes a week for your bones to adapt to the response that's happened. Basically, you're emulating, it's impact. So it's impact. That's what we need for our bones, is impact. So like long jumpers, high jumpers, they have the highest bone density. When we were kids, we used to jump up and down. It's really good for your bone density. But everybody after the age of 30 starts to decline in their bone density. Fact. Women more than men. If you've had children, it's even worse. It just saps from your bones and everything. So anyway, to cut a really long story short, so I eventually plucked up the courage and went for my scan. So no drugs, just osteogenic loading for 9.5 months. And I lay on the bed and the sonographer said to me, she said, so is this your first scan? And I said, no, it's my second. I know I've got osteoporosis. So she went, oh, okay. She said, are you taking the drugs then? And I said, no, I haven't taken any drugs actually. I'm doing something else. It's called osteogenic loading. It's just non-pharmaceutical. So she went, okay, dear. She said, well, let's see how you are then. So I lay there and they did their thing, and she said, right, that's you, you're done now. She said, would you like to wait outside? And I said, okay. And then she went, oh my goodness, come and have a look, come and have a look. And I went, what? And she said, your HIT score has really, really improved. And I was like almost nearly screaming. Well, I wasn't really screaming, but I was going, oh my goodness, really? What is it? What is it? So basically, my HIT score has gone from, people who know about this will understand this, has gone from a T-score of minus 1.8 to minus 1.3 in less than a year. That is phenomenal. So that is almost a 30% increase in bone density, which puts me, I'm climbing up that ladder to normality, and that's at the top of osteopenia. So it goes normal, osteopenia, and then osteoporosis. So your hip is vitally important. Your hip is what, and this is a really morbid thing to say, if you have a hip fracture, you have a 50% more chance of dying within 12 months, in line with ovarian cancer and breast cancer. So because it's a central part of your musculoskeletal system. So that is really important, is the hip fracture risk. So I am really creeping up non-pharmaceutically into the realms of normality. Now my goal for next year is to be in that beautiful green area, because it goes green, yellow, red, to make my hip score normal. But I just feel that so positive about this. This is the most incredible thing. It's revolutionary. It's been around in America for about 3 years, centres where you can go and do this. They're going to be popping up in the UK this year. They're popping up all over Europe now, and it's going to revolutionise the need for hip replacements and knee replacements. It's something we all need. As we age, we lose bone density, our spines become shorter, you get kyphotic, your spine starts to, you see old people and their spines are bending over. So doing this system actually strengthens spines as well. So basically it works on, if you load a bone at length, a minimum of 4.2 times your body weight, that's what you need to stimulate the bone. If you have the strength to load your bone even higher with more weight than that, you will stimulate your bone faster. Now, this isn't anything new. This is a really old law called Wolff's Law, and it's been around for 100 years. A doctor called Julius Wolff, and he found this out many years ago. We can generate new bone by putting a lot of weight on the bone. Now, I'm afraid to say it is a myth that although walking is great, Pilates is great, yoga is great, weightlifting is great, weight-bearing exercise in the gym is all fantastic, and everyone, we should all be doing this. But if you want to grow your bone density, you need to load your bone a minimum of 4.2 times your own personal body weight. And that is the fact of how it works. So it's just really good to know that. So the system that I'm using is a very safe way of loading your bone, and you can't do it anywhere else. So for instance, this is probably quite boring now, but it's very exciting for me. My lower growth trigger, which is basically the hip joint, I can push 11.5 times my body weight now, which is phenomenal. Where could I ever do that in a gym? So I've managed to trigger my bones rapidly. So that's why I've grown so fast, because I've got the strength to do that. Because I'm young, but I have got this situation at a very young age. So I have to work very hard to get out of this situation. So basically, in a nutshell, absolutely amazing. I'm so impressed. I'm just reading some of these messages. Did you improve your spine too? Hi, Jenny. The spine improved marginally, but bearing in mind, they also said that if your score stayed the same, that was also a success story, in that every year you would go down, so you're climbing up an escalator that's going down. It's a battle. So, but the hip score was phenomenal, absolute phenomenal difference. And the hip is what the doctors look at more than the spine, because the hip is what will raise your mortality rate more than the spine, because different areas of our body have different types of bones. So the spine, for instance, is a softer bone, and it's more difficult to stimulate. But obviously I'm going to keep going and doing what I'm doing. This is not going to change for me. I'm going to go for my weekly sessions of osteogenic loading. I'll continue to improve my hip score, and I will continue to improve my spinal score, because actually my results are very early. I've not been doing this even a year. So I'm really excited. It is excellent news. I am just over the moon, really. And so I just wanted to explain what happened and how happy I was. I knew I was bearing my soul by saying to everyone, I'm going for this scan. But now I've come back with the results, and I know I had a lot of people private messaging me and asking me about what I was doing. And so what I will ask is please like and share this video, or if you know anyone who has osteoporosis, is on drugs, they don't want to be on the drugs, and they want to know more about what I'm doing, please share the video, drop a message, private message me. I would really like to help anyone else in the same situation as me. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all your comments, and I will catch you soon. And remember, whatever you do today, make it amazing. Bye.